Hello again, my friends. You are once again in Toadland with the Toad. Now, on this occasion, I would like to share with you my small collection of cold steel knives and share with you my opinion on them and where I think the budget range cold steel knives are worth having. Now, bear in mind, I think of cold steel knives as tools, pure and simply tools. It's not like the other knives in the collections, you know, that you look at them and you think, oh, what nice scales they've got, or look at that blade etching. And with cold steel knives, to me, they're just a practical tool. I think they're a very good practical tool, but I don't see any beauty in them at all. Except for one. I will say there's one of them I actually have a different opinion on, but I'll get to that when I get to that. So anyway, I'll just begin and just quickly go through them. And I mean, I'm sure most of you are already aware of these particular knives. These are all the lower end, say the budget end of the cold steel range. So let's see what we can do. Right, first off is this, as you can see, 8CR13 MOV steel, cold steel, made in China. This is the Bushranger Light. Now, if I'm doing anything in the garden or outside, any kind of yard work, any that sort of thing, this is the knife I always pick up first. It's almost indestructible. Yes, I would have liked the larger version, but I just couldn't afford it, and this does a wonderful job. Like I said, it's almost indestructible. It has this really good locking system on it, so that blade is not going to go anywhere. As Lynn Thompson said, this was to help the knives not coming undone if they're in your pocket and you fall down a hill or something, so the blade doesn't suddenly shoot open and cut your ghoulies off, which they could do, I suppose. But anyway, it's got it on there, and actually a bit of security for you. So look, I mean, these locks on these, I mean, they're virtually indestructible. You know, you get in a hefty piece of kit. These will just keep on going. They're not going to let you down as far as that goes. Do I think they're worth £100, £200? No, I don't. Are they worth £30, £40? Yes. Okay. Which is about what this cost. I can't remember exactly what the price was, but it wasn't much above 35 or something, if I remember right. But it's very sharp. Holds a lovely edge. And yeah, it does a good job. I've bashed this, I've hit it with things, I've knocked nails in with it almost. Well, not quite. But it's been trampled on. I just hosed it down, came back to normal again. So, would I recommend getting one of these Bushranger Lights for yard work or for a work knife? Yes, I would. It's worth every penny. There, Bushranger Light. Next, a knife I know a lot of you are familiar with is the Finn Wolf. Now, this is a wonderful knife. I will tell you that now. I love this. I use this a lot when I'm carving, which I've not done for quite a while, to be honest with you. I need to get back into doing it. But this is, for a long time, was my knife of choice for whittling. It is a razor. So what sort of steel we got here? Oz 8, and it's made in Taiwan. The only thing that's wrong with this knife in the structure is these silly things here. They need to come off. I need to take mine off. You can't sharpen it. You can't strop it properly. They get in the way. I keep saying I'm going to take them off, but I haven't yet. But again, got this super strong lock. This isn't gonna. It's not going to close on you. You know, you've got a good piece of kit here. Is this worth the money? Oh, definitely. I just wish it had a better handle. Now, I've often thought about actually taking this apart and making some wooden scales or something and having a go, giving it a better look. I haven't done that, as I don't want to destroy a perfectly good knife. But I would like to. I think this would make a good, handsome folding knife. But there we go. yes, this is worth the money. If you don't already have one of these, get one. And if you're legally allowed to do it, have it as your EDC. You're not going to be sorry with this. Now, because I had that, I also had to get myself the fixed blade version, which I would take out in the field any day of the week. The Fin Hawk. I think this is wonderful. Now, I think this trumps Moira knives all the way. I mean, I've used this a lot, and I've done a lot of carving with this. It's what's the steel? It's a German steel, if I remember right. Can't quite read it. 4116 stainless, made in Taiwan. Yeah, and I believe that's a German steel. They use it for surgical instruments and kitchen knives and things like that. But it is supposed to be a very, very good steel. It's one of the lower end carbon stainlesses, but believe me, it holds an edge, and it's a good one. And the handle on this is absolutely brilliant. It just fits in your hand. It is such a lovely thing to hold. It's just lovely. Of course, it's got the little dimply thing on the back if you want to do a bit of this with it. But yes, that is a wonderful knife, and I would recommend you getting one of them. Okay, if you can afford one of the better Moiras, get a better Moira. But compared, say, to the Companion, that type of thing, the knives are around £30 for Moira. This is better. And I've got them other ones as well, so I can compare them and use. But yeah, this is a lovely knife, and I do recommend you get one. Obviously, like I say, that's the folding version of this. This is the fixed blade version of that. So, oh, there is one thing with these. Be very careful if you do get one. They can get a bit stuck in the sheath. Now, when it's in there like that, and you go to pull it out, you've got to pull it out. Make sure your hands clear of that sheath, because I've heard of people pulling them out and just slicing their hands to pieces. So make sure you're holding it down here when you do it, because you do have to yank them out sometimes, like that. But if you're careful, you're not going to hurt yourself. So there you go. So of course, the next one along is the little neck knife, the spike. Now I bought this just for a bit of fun. I wanted something just fixed blade, cold steel knife, just for part of my fixed blade collection. So I had the spare cash, so I bought myself one. Here we go, and there it is. Same steel as this one, 4116. It is what it is, you know. When I muck around this in the garden, this I throw it at trees and things, and I used it for a bit of weeding. You know, it's virtually indestructible. This thing is. It's so strong. I mean, this is how it's been in the ground. As like I said, I've done a lot of groundwork with this, and it cleaned up. There's no mark on it. Again, is this worth having? Yes, it is. Shame it's not a little bit cheaper, but yeah, I would recommend getting one of these as well. There's 4 in the range. There's a tanto. I think there's a drop point. There's a spear point. I think I can't remember now. And of course, the clip point. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it as a neck knife, but as a utility knife, yeah, it's alright, it does a good job. Then along we come to the one knife I'd actually never use, the SR1 Light. A wonderful piece of kit. It's as strong as an ox, this is. I have no use for it though. I've not used it, it's never been used. 8CR MOV, yeah. Made in Taiwan. Look at the size of that thick. I mean, that's 4mm. It's almost 1/4 of an inch. That's a sharp edge. Sharp edge. If I was living out, if I was going to be going camping, and I was an outdoorsman, yes, I would take this with me, because that's definitely something. You could get a spark with a ferrule stick with this. No worries. You could dig a hole with this. It almost becomes a fixed blade. That lock is so solid. That is not going to go anywhere. Honestly, that is rock solid. Again, it's the light version. It's not the full-size version. Would I like the full-size version? Yes, I would. But it's about £100 more. This one, yeah, it does a good job. It's incredibly sharp. Really is. I mean, that's a silly sharp. Again, do I recommend you get one of these? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now, we've got which I do, a knife I do actually like. I like the look of this. The cold steel Ranch Boss 2, which I really, really like. I've used this a lot. I've done a lot of carving with this. There, that is a sweet looking knife. I do like that. Again, not a lot more. This was £25. Now look at the thickness of that blade. And this is put together fantastically. There's nothing wrong. I can't fault this knife in any way at all when the manufacturing of it. It's lovely. There's a good weight. Again, would I recommend getting one? Yes, I definitely would. So for this was £25. That's all it was. Now it is a copy of various other few knives. For instance, it was put down for a long time. I heard people saying it was a copy of an early version of one of these things. And I was looking for the video because I did see it on this video where it actually showed the knife, and it was almost identical to that. But it was one of these old timer things, but bigger. But as you see, it's a bigger knife. You know, and that's £32 to buy that. That's £25. That's a better steel. That's put together better. That's going to last longer. This is heavier, and it's a smaller blade. Now, what I did find when I was looking for this particular video, which I never did find, by the way, they wanted to have the early version of the strayed knife that this is supposed to be a copy of. I did find William Knife Life's video he did on this particular knife, I think it was last year. And he pointed something out on it that had never occurred to me. So, let me just move these out of the way. And it amazed me. Once he said it, and I thought, you know what, I've bought knives out so many times, I've never noticed this. But he points it out. So you look at this knife, and put them over there. You don't compare it, can't think with this exact same one, but it's of the same range. Of the Friday Hunters. They're almost mirror images of themselves. Look at that. They could be the same knife. And it never occurred to me until he pointed it out. And yeah, look at that. They are, apart from, obviously that's a little bit different shape, but they're virtually identical twins. I'm talking about the shape of it. You know, I have to get something done about my problem with fingerprints. It's getting out of hand. Right, but I mean, look at this. Look, they are so similar. You know, you see the shape, the belly, the shape of the handles. It could be the same knife. It really could. So if these have copied anybody, they've copied these. Now, there's the thing. Again, better steel. £25. That was £18. £32. Now, if you're going to get into, you want to get a decent hunting knife, folding hunter, yes, okay, you could get a, you need to get a book, but you're talking about £50, £60, £70. I mean, I've seen them going as much as £100 for sale in England. It's an expensive knife to buy over here. We're not talking about that, we're talking about the budget end. Of these, which one is the best one? Well, it's down to choice. I think that's the best value. That is still a decent knife. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But the steel's not quite as good on that. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that either. But the blade's not as big as these two. That is a lovely knife. So anyway, that was just my opinion on them. Now, there's just one more to look at. Now, this was the very first knife I ever bought. I didn't know what I was buying. I ordered this over the internet. I can't remember exactly where I ordered it from. I spotted it. And I've been looking at it for a few weeks, and the lady on the hill said, just buy it, treat yourself, and that's what started me on collecting knives. So I sent off for it, and it never arrived, and I thought I'd lost in the post. And weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, months later, I got this parcel through the post, but a really old battered up box, and it's a cold steel box. I never even heard of cold steel, and this was inside of it. And it is this. Now, I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's old stock, cold steel. It just says cold steel Japan on it. I've tried to find this particular model and I can't find it in their catalogue anymore at the moment. I don't know how old it is. I don't know if it's something they did a few years ago. But that sits on a stand like that, and it's a pretty little thing, but it's actually a usable, very usable knife. Little choppy thing, whatever you want to do it. Do you chop your onions, you know, cut your salamis, anyway. But yeah, was that worth having? For the price I paid, yeah, I paid about £30 for it. I think it's old stock. Very unusual positioning on the sheath, which might be able to identify it. It's strange because the loop thing's halfway down. I've never seen that before. You know, normally they're up there, but this is actually down here. I don't know what I've got here. I just suspect, the fact it says cold steel Japan, I suspect it's an old stock. It's been floating around. Someone's got hold of stuff and put them out for sale. It's very heavy, incredibly sharp. I have bashed around in the garden with this, chopped a few branches on trees and things to see how tough it is, and yeah, it is a tough old bird. But anyway, that's enough of that. So, that's my opinions. Do I think the budget range of cold steel knives is worth having? Yes, I do. Do I think it's worth spending money on the more expensive ones? If you can afford it, yes. It's your money, do what you like with it. I prefer to spend it on something else. But are these worth having? Yes, they are. If you haven't got a Finn Wolf, get yourself one. Well worth having, but everybody should have one. And there you have it. Who did they copy? Did they copy them or did they copy them? I think William was on the right cue there. I think Cold Steel copied Rough Rider. I really do. They're too similar. Yes, that's going to bug me now. That's been pointed out. I'm never going to forget it. Every time I look at that Cold Steel now, I'll think of a Rough Rider Hunter. Thanks, William, buddy. You put that worm in my eyes now. I can't get it out. It is a nice looking hunter though, isn't it, that Rough Rider? But yes, I do like this. I do like this. I like that one. I like that one though. I like all of them. That's it for me. I've took a bit longer than I should have done. But if you're still around watching this, thank you very much for your patience. I'd like to know what your opinions are. Anyway, carry on with what you were doing. I'm going to watch some science fiction on television. I'm not sure what it'll be. Might be Star Wars again. Have a cup of tea and just do what I normally do, which is sit around and look at knives. Right, with that, toodle pip, my friends. See you down the road. Have a good one and thank you for your time. Bye bye for now.